Did you know? South Park has many hidden secrets within its episodes. One prime example is in the Season 3 episode, Chinpokomon. Even the episode's title and plot were a means to sneak profanity past censors. The term Chinpoko means small penis in Japanese, and the episode's title is a mix of this phrase and the word Pokemon, effectively meaning small penis monsters. Another aspect of the episode, Mr. Hirohito and Mr. Osi's compliments towards the endowment of American men, was based on a true story. South Park creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker were visiting a friend working in Beijing and met their friend's boss. The boss kept telling Parker and Stone how small his penis was, and that Americans were lucky to be so well endowed. Stone and Parker originally bonded over their shared love of Monty Python, which they often cite as an inspiration for South Park. Parker and Stone first met in 1992 at the University of Colorado, where the two worked on a short animation called The Spirit of Christmas: Jesus vs. Frosty. The Spirit of Christmas is now considered the very first episode of the long-running animated series, and follows the first incarnations of Kyle, Kenny, Cartman, and Stan. Stone and Parker animated the short only using glue, construction paper, and an old 8mm film camera, and didn't think much of the project in the moment. After college, the two creators decided to go to Hollywood and pursue more projects. Fox Network executive and friend of Stone and Parker, Brian Graden, put the duo to work on a pilot for Time Warped, a children's TV series that was meant to be a musical. The pilot, called Rom and Jewel, was a love story about a Homo erectus and an Australopithecus, but unfortunately it never aired. Graydon still wanted to work with Stone and Parker in some way, and paid them roughly $1,200 to make a second Spirit of Christmas short as a video Christmas card. This short is now considered one of the first viral videos, and was even snuck into the game data of Tiger Woods' PGA Tour 99 on the original PlayStation, causing it to be recalled from stores. Actor George Clooney found the short so funny that he reportedly made hundreds of copies of it and sent it to friends. As a sort of thank you to Clooney, Stone and Parker cast him as Stan's dog Sparky in the episode Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride, and gave Clooney a speaking role in South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Because the short was such a hit, Parker and Stone got their first real chance to create a full show. Fox ultimately decided to pass on the show because of its adult content, and inclusion of characters such as a talking piece of feces. With Fox out of the picture, Stone and Parker entered negotiations with both MTV and Comedy Central. Parker was adamant that they take the show to the edgier Comedy Central, as he feared MTV would ultimately turn South Park into a children's show. After striking a deal with Comedy Central, Parker and Stone assembled a team, and had 3 months to create the first episode. Cartman gets an anal probe. This episode took the longest to make out of any South Park episode, as it was made entirely out of craft paper. Every episode of South Park that followed was made on a computer with paper textures to emulate the style. Although production was going well, South Park was in serious danger of being cancelled before it even aired, as the pilot's crude humor didn't perform well with test audiences. However, the cult following around their original shorts was evident, and Comedy Central agreed to order a 6-episode run, followed by 7 more when the show performed well. Stone and Parker had huge fights with the network that year, and struggled to get Comedy Central to fully understand their humor. For the first few seasons, the team would finish working on an episode within 3 weeks. After turning in shows on Wednesday, the team would fly to Las Vegas for a night out and return to work the next day. Currently, with the help from a much larger staff, the team can complete an episode of the show within a week. Tools like CorelDRAW and Maya enable a shorter production schedule, which allows the team to react quickly to current events. Parker and Stone rarely, if ever, miss the weekly deadline, and this helps the show stay politically and socially relevant. One early example of this is the Season 4 episode Quintuplets 2000. The episode references the United States Border Patrol's raid of a house during the Ellen Gonzalez scandal, which happened just 4 days before the episode aired. Perhaps the most famous example is the Season 12 episode About Last Night, which is about Barack Obama becoming president in 2008. Stone, Parker, and the rest of the team managed to update and air the episode only 24 hours after Obama's victory. Stone and Parker have said several times that they actually enjoy working under tight deadlines, and may actually prefer to work like that. The duo believes stress and time management keep them on their toes, and makes for a more creative and funnier show. If they talk about an idea for too long, they'll start to hate it and second-guess themselves. Their method does have drawbacks, however. Stone and Parker once failed to air an episode on time. In October 2013, a blackout hit the South Park studio, resulting in a missed submission deadline for the first time in 17 years. The episode in question is Season 17's Goth Kids 3: Dawn of the Posers. Parker wrote on the studio's website, "It sucks to miss an air date, but after all these years of tempting fate by delivering the show last minute, I guess it was bound to happen." After being on the air for 10 seasons, Parker and Stone knew they had to change South Park and its comedy style so the show could stay relevant. There was an introduction of a more satirical element to the series in Season 10, and this was a result of Parker and Stone wanting to add a moral center to the show, rather than relying on crude and shocking humor. South Park has been part of many different controversies over the years, but Stone has insisted that he and Parker usually don't think of storylines that would make people angry. Instead, they're more concerned with telling a good story with a message behind it. There are some plot lines that Parker and Stone thought would cause a stir among certain groups, only for the episode to have little to no backlash. A perfect example is the Season 3 episode, The Brown Noise, where the boy's teacher, Mr. Garrison, tries to convince his father to molest him because he was never molested as a kid. Stone said, "Those I thought were pretty weird that no one got pissed off about, and the fact Mr. Garrison's begging for it, I thought, was messed up. But, on the other hand, it's so messed up and fantastical, who's gonna complain?" A major source of controversy for the show was the Season 5 premiere, It Hits the Fan, as it used profanity hundreds of times without being bleeped for censorship purposes. In the days after the episode's airing, Comedy Central actually received over 5,000 disapproving emails. Sometimes, when expecting a backlash, the team actually receives praise. The Tourette Association of America released a statement following the episode Le Petit Tourette, which centered around Tourette syndrome. Although the association criticized some parts of the episode, they complimented the show for being well-researched, and believed the syndrome served as a clever device to get accurate information to the public. Did you also know that South Park: The Fractured Butthole was almost delayed again due to Trey Parker getting emergency surgery? Or that the game was originally titled The Butthole of Time? For more South Park facts, check out the Did You Know Gaming video on The Fractured Butthole.